this Ramadan.
Welcome back. Still tuned in to News and Views with myself, Salailo Makwidiri, and we're going to be segueing to very, very sad turn of events. For the first time in decades, one of Islam's holiest sites, Aqsa Mosque, remains closed to Muslim worshippers during Eid. Israeli authorities have extended restrictions on access to the compound throughout the end of Ramadan and into Eid, citing security concerns linked to escalating regional tensions. But for Palestinians on the ground, this is being described as very unprecedented. It is a moment many are calling a turning point, and it is a cause of concern, I think, for all the Muslims across the world. Reports indicate that this is the first such closure during Eid in decades, with worshippers forced to pray outside the old city under very heavy security, while international bodies warn of violations of religious freedom. At the same time, just not so far away in Gaza, the fragile ceasefire conditions appear to be unraveling, with continued violence adding to what is already a deep humanitarian crisis that all of us know about so well. And what is really unfolding on the ground in Jerusalem, and what does this mean for Palestinians marking Eid under restrictions? We're going to be finding out, and we are joined now by Jerusalem-based Palestinian archaeologist, very, very good friend of the show. She's also a tour guide, one of the custodians of Al-Aqsa Mosque. She's also an activist, Sister Abeer Zayyad, who's joining us via our virtual platform. Sister Abeer, jazakallah so much for joining us, and really appreciate you giving us your time during these very, very difficult and concerning times.
Assalamu alaikum. Eid Mubarak for all Muslims. Yes, it's very difficult time. It's for the first time since the Crusaders that the Aqsa Mosque is closed in Ramadan and it's closed in Eid. So we are speaking about around 1,000 years that this thing have never happened. So you can feel and see the frustration for the people, and that the Aqsa Mosque is completely closed, even for the workers. They allowed only for a few workers to enter some of the guard, and that's it. And they do not allow for anything, any kind of praise. In the same time, just next to Al-Aqsa Mosque, where is the Burak Wall, the Western Wall, they allowed for Jews to enter and to pray. Yes, it's they limited with numbers, but they allowed that. But the Aqsa Mosque and all the masjid inside the old city are closed and not allowed to do any prayers inside it. And even the people who tried to pray during Ramadan close to Aqsa Mosque, they was attacking, but the huge attack it was today morning when the people tried to pray as much as they can close to the old city, because Israel is not only not allowed for the Palestinian to enter to Aqsa Mosque, but also they are not allowed for the Palestinian to enter to the old city. They allowed only for the resident of the old city, and they do not allow even for example, the extended family, your children, your brother or someone to come to visit you even in the Eid day. And also they do not allow for the stores to open. So since the war started, all the stores in the old city is closed. But if you go to any Israeli area or any Israeli street, you will find the stores are open. So only the old city are the only place that are completely surrounded and closed. In the same time, today also they try to block all the streets in the West Bank and not allow to people to move from one area to another. And you know, today the family in our tradition, in the Eid day, the men will go to visit the women in their houses. So they need to move from one area to another to visit their relatives, and they block all the roads for them. Also in the last 24 hours, you know, the Israelis stopped all the rockets on top of the Palestinian neighborhood because they consider it as an not important and empty area. So they stop all the rockets on top of the Palestinian area. It does not matter if the villages are, or the residents of the villages are having a Palestinian passport or having Israeli passport. So even if you are having Israeli passport, and it's happened one of the villages that they have Israeli passport, not only that they are a village that know as a traitor village, that they are working in the Israeli army, but they do not care about that, and they stop the rocket on top of them. And some of them had been injured and died. But also yesterday, it was a village in the West Bank, a very active village, completely Palestinian. They stopped the rocket on top of it, and it fall down in one of the building, and 4 Palestinian women had been killed in that, and some people are still injured. So they mainly do these stopping on top of the Palestinian area, and it's happened also in Jerusalem, that they stop the rockets on top of our neighborhoods. And just some of these fragment was even around my own home. But alhamdulillah for everything. But it's a very difficult and hard situation. The people are suffering. But mainly the most concern for all of us is what is happening in Al-Aqsa Mosque, and that Al-Aqsa Mosque is completely closed since the beginning of the war.
I want you to, give us a bit more insight on the reality on the ground. You mentioned this is very, very unprecedented. For a very, very long time, we haven't seen the closure of Al-Aqsa during the month of Ramadan and throughout Eid. Emotionally and spiritually, for Palestinians to be locked out of Al-Aqsa during Eid specifically, how are people taking it? Is it taking a strain on them? Are people having to change their routines? What's the feeling and mood like on the ground?
First is change all our routine, because normally we'll find all Jerusalem people, everybody in the mosque, everybody will pray inside the mosque, and after that they will start from there going to other places. So yes, of course, it's changed all our routine, but you can see the sadness on the people, and you can see that a lot of people also who was able to arrive to close to the wall of the old city, they try to pray there in the street, in different areas, in the next to each gate, and all of them had been attacked, beating. They send gas bombs, sound bombs on them, and some of them had been injured in the day of Al-Eid, just to try to pray Eid praise in the street, because they did not allow for them to enter to Al-Aqsa Mosque. So yes, it's affect everything, and of course the people are so sad. You can see that a lot of people, especially the women, are crying. That is for the first time they can't do the pray in Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is very, very difficult. It's very, very strange that that we are not in Al-Aqsa Mosque in the Eid day. We start our day with the Eid.
And the Israeli authorities themselves are citing security concerns that are, linked to the regional tensions in the Middle East, the war on Iran that we've all seen played out. How is this explanation being perceived locally on the ground? Or do you think it is being used as an excuse to make sure that the Al-Aqsa compound is closed off?
There is no explanation. Sorry, but my family had been arriving because of Eid, but there is no explanation that Israel is giving, and they do not care about any explanation to give it for us about what they are doing and how they are attacking us. There is nothing to justify it, and they say that it's the responsibility of Iran, but we understand that this is their responsibility.
And there are also growing concerns that this could signal a shift when it comes to the long-standing status quo, the governing of Al-Aqsa. Do you see this as a temporary measure, or something that could unfortunately be permanent, as this war in Iran continues to escalate and it doesn't seem to be nearing?
It seems that it will be escalated and it will be different. And we see that it will affect the whole life, and there will be changes about Al-Aqsa Mosque in the coming days.
No, most definitely, Sister Abeer. Let me let you go. Eid Mubarak. Send our
Jazakumullah
salam to
khairan.
your
Eid
family
Mubarak.
also. Jazakallah so much for joining us and hope we chat again soon.
Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, salam. There you go. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, News and Views continues.